Welcome to today's episode 10 of our Verses series. That's right, the final finale of such a serious series dedicated to making you think more than meets the eye. This is Wisdom Central. All right, so this is going to be about. Let me just start by saying that there's a clear difference between simply caring for someone versus truly loving someone. Have to start out by saying that. Loving someone with all of your heart and soul, which is required in a lifelong soulmate relationship. All right. So, we're going to go ahead and begin with your relationship will fail if all you do is merely care about your partner without being absolutely obsessed and devoted toward your partner's complete happiness. We're talking above and beyond. Love is an intense feeling of affection and connection towards someone or something. It can exist without care, but care is an expression of love. Caring is the act of showing concern and providing support for someone or something. It is a behavior or action, while love is an emotional attachment or deep affection. Care comes from fear, while love is general and unconditional. Well, that's where we disagree. Always got to see what the world thinks and how I differ. Unconditional, you guys already know how I feel about that. For those who don't know, everything requires conditions. A seed requires the right conditions in order to grow into a tree. You can't just marry anybody or go out with anybody. They have to be. They can't be a criminal. They can't be somebody that you're not going to get along with. Those are conditions that need to be met. If you guys want to know more, just go ahead and watch more of my streams. I go into it in more depth. Pretty much that's the gist. Love is 100% conditional. Unconditional is lazy and not willing to change for the better, to improve oneself. Caring means you are motivated by compassion for people, while love means you are motivated by the novelty and enjoyment of it all. Look, I don't agree 100% with this definition, but I have to show you guys what the world says in general. Pretty much, caring is a beginner's stage of love. Love does involve caring for each other. But if that's all you guys do is care for each other, well, that's what friends can do. That's what family members can do. That's even what acquaintances can do. Love is above and beyond, and that's what we're going to get into. All right, let's read another thing about what the world thinks about mediocre relationships. A mediocre relationship is typically a symptom of a mediocre relationship with yourself. Yeah, that could be the case, or one or both partners. When you don't know yourself or honor your needs, it's easy to stay in a mediocre relationship. Yeah, this is called living in denial. Mediocre can be safe, familiar, just enough, but not deeply fulfilling or vibrant. That's what we're going to get into. Mediocre partners either ask more of their partner than they do of themselves. It works both ways. Or sacrifice their needs regularly. Compromise. You can't compromise if you want to be happy. Sorry. In order to serve everyone else, leading to chronic feelings of depletion. Exactly. And often bitterness and not feeling appreciated. And unhappiness. Ultimately unhappiness. That's what we're discussing. That's precisely what we're discussing. That's precisely why I mention avoiding mediocre relationships, because typically couples become lazy and end up realizing that they were not prepared to love someone with everything they have. And that's the main reason why the majority of relationships fail. Like it or not. It's a fact. Love, you can't just go out there and just expect everything to, fall into place without giving much effort. Everything requires effort, tremendous effort when it comes to the realm of love. If you truly want to succeed for a lifetime, an entire lifetime. People don't think that way, unfortunately. They just think satisfaction temporary and, oh, I'm living such a great life by going out with so many people. No, that's perpetual failed relationships. Love is caring for each other even when you're angry. Yeah, in the beginning stages of a relationship, this is a synchronization process, which I go into much deeper in other streams. Pretty much, this is the beginning phase. After about 10 years, you guys should be over this stuff. No more arguing, no more doubts, no more misunderstandings, no more problems, definitely no signs of abuse anywhere. Hence, no more arguments, no problems of any kind. And yes, you can achieve it. That's called a perfect relationship. If you don't believe it, then you're going to fail. Or you're going to live life in denial and unhappy, and you're not going to want to admit it. You'll become bitter, as the definition of mediocrity stated. Such failing relationships are unfortunately barely maintained, hanging by a thread. Destined to fail because they still find themselves arguing or fantasizing about being with someone else. Those are the consequences. You can live in denial all you want if you're not seeking to perfect your relationship. That's what this channel is all about. That's what I'm all about as a life coach. This who specializes in relationships. If you're not seeking to achieve perfection with your partner, you're not going to succeed. You don't have to like it, but it's the truth. Love requires everything and more. It's imperative to know the difference between simply caring for your partner versus loving your partner. For instance, loving your partner means you become everything they desire with all of their heart. So, you become everything they desire, and they become everything you desire. It's vice versa. It's the same. It works both ways, as I stated before. You know, it sounds simple, but this is precisely why so many couples fail. You know, they don't think about these things. Too many couples fail to realize this requirement and thus live with fear, doubt, and secret untold misery. They're too scared to express their miserable feelings to each other out of fear of losing each other, right? Feeling obligated to stay in an unhealthy, unhappy relationship where either they or both partners are unhappy. So, yeah, either you speak up or you're going to suffer for quite a long time, and you will regret it. Either your partner is not going to be enough for you, because you have to ask yourself, do you deserve to be happy? Because it's possible. They can be everything to you and you can be everything to them. But as soon as you start denying that possibility, you start having lowered expectations. And guess what suffers? The relationship. All right. To become each other's fantasy partner, you must do more than merely care for each other. I hear too many times, oh, I just want companionship. That's basic care. Okay, that's what you start with, but if that's all you think it is, you're doomed. You have to communicate and identify in great detail precisely what both of you want in a relationship. Communication. You hear it all the time, but yet how many couples really dedicate themselves to honest communication? You know, they beat around the bush. They don't be honest with their partners, saying exactly what they want. Those are your goals. Everything else we're going to go over a little bit here. Cooking, cleaning, taking out the garbage, mowing the lawn, organizing the home, doing the laundry, mopping, sweeping, washing the dishes. These are examples of caring for each other that both partners need to do. Just because she's the woman doesn't mean she's the one who has to cook and clean. A man should know how to cook and clean, and he should do it. It's a mutual effort. It's teamwork. So many couples get that wrong. Well, I don't know how to cook. Oh, cleaning, that's for women. You better learn, and you better do it. And the same thing for women. Learn how to be a handy woman. Then that way you don't have to rely on a handyman. If it's something too dangerous, hire a contractor. And also for your husband, if it's something too dangerous, or your boyfriend, don't put their lives on the line when you could just pay somebody to do it for you and get rid of the danger. I mean, that's caring about each other. That's pretty basic. Responsibilities can be equally divided, but such tasks are only part of caring for each other, as I've stated, which includes working and paying the bills, by the way. Loving each other means doing much more than any responsibility. Have to drive that one home. It's more than just caring for each other. Okay. Pretty much going over what matters most. Now, here's at the heart of the situation here. Love means sexually pleasing each other to the fullest extent possible, to master anything your partner desires. That's right. I didn't stutter, utter, or mutter. This will ensure that your partner will never even think about leaving you or letting you down. Think about it. Why do you think prostitution still exists? Why do you think? Because failed relationships still exist. I mean, nobody would go to seek a prostitute if they had a perfect relationship. And don't even spit towards me the supposed fact that, well, everybody's going to fail sometime and not all relationships are perfect. Well, then they need to seek the perfect relationship. And for those who are running and not slowly walking through life as they should, cautiously and vigilantly, then they're the ones who keep stumbling upon themselves with another failed relationship, another one, and another one, because they don't take the time to just stop and breathe and reflect, do some self-reflection, go over their mistakes, make sure not to commit them again, make sure not to go out with the same types of people. That's what I cover in episode 1 of Article Reviews, Groundhogging. Go check out that stream. Choosing the same toxic people over and over again, expecting different results. What does that sound like? That's right, insanity. Which means unhealthy. Too many people believe that they've mastered the art of sex, complaining that their relationship still fails despite their supposed mastery. That's because one or both partners were never in love to begin with. Think about it. So your definition of, oh, I'm so good in bed and she's so good in bed. Are you though? Is she though? How come the relationship still failed? Because I do hear that, like, oh no, the sex is great. You hear it's actually a cliche. It's even found in movies and TV shows. Oh, the sex was great, so then what happened? Because sex is the ultimate of intimacy. If you guys are just smacking body on body without any deep feelings, that energy and emotion, then you're not connecting on a spiritual level, which is your emotions. You know, emotional level is sharing that energy together, passion, desire. That equates to love and devotion that lasts for a lifetime, if they're everything that you passionately desire. You can't lie to yourself and be like, oh, the sex was great. Then why did your relationship fail? Oh, for other reasons. Wrong. The love was not there. The love was not strong enough. You guys probably cared about each other. You guys probably liked the idea of being with each other. But that's as far as your guys' failed relationship went. Understand? That's as far as it went. It was not a 10 out of 10. It was not 100% from either you or both of you. This is extremely important to understand, because people provide 1,000 excuses except for the one truth. The fact that it was not what they said it was. Someone's lying. Because if sex was mastered, I'm not saying that, oh, sex is the only thing you need. Well, it's pretty much 90% of the equation. The other 10% is the caring part. Believe it or not, that's the Disney part, rated G. Holding hands, cuddling, bringing each other some glass of water, or giving each other massages, or going out doing stuff that's fun together. All the goody-goody two-shoes, friendship things, because you guys got to be friends before you're lovers. Absolutely. There are phases to love. And the friendship phase is all about learning how to care for each other and see if the chemistry is there to fall in love. If the chemistry is there, if the chemistry is not there, you guys can't push it. You can't force it. It's not going to happen. And then you guys think, oh, we finally fell in love with each other. There's another lie. Did you? Did you though? Or you're just saying that you fell in love because you guys simply had sex. That's not falling in love. When you fall in love, that means that this person is everything to you. And they have to feel the same way. So somebody's not being truthful when it's a failed relationship. One or both partners are they're lying to themselves. If everything was as great as one or both partners say, a failed couple, a failed relationship, then they wouldn't have broke up. That's the fact. And if you don't want to believe it, get over it, because that's the truth. It's just like a machine that is dedicated to, it's designed specifically to function like a clock. I like to use the example of a clock. If that clock is 1 second behind, it's wrong. That's just a fact. It has to be perfect. Every second counts. Otherwise, it is wrong. It can't tell time correctly or perfectly. Are you going to excuse the clock for being 1 minute ahead or 1 minute behind? Many people do. But the clock itself, by definition, is it functioning to the best of its ability based on what it was specifically designed to do? Because human beings are specifically designed to love each other to the maximum with the correct partner. If you can't discern between who's the correct partner, you're doomed. And that's where the part of wisdom comes in, and intelligence. That's precisely what I go over in my movie/online video course, my 1-hour course. I go over this. Sexual compatibility, wisdom, and intelligence. Those are 2 chapters of the 10 chapters. And I don't explain things the way I explain things in streams. I explain things much more professionally, but here it's off the hook, off the chain. Anything goes. So very important to cover right here. Couples think that, oh, it was a great relationship. It was the best of my life. Well, what were your expectations? Why did it fail? What really happened? Are you being honest? For instance, in this image here, we can find and read an extremely immature statement claiming that perfection doesn't exist when in fact it does. Perfection itself is something that both partners should never give up on mastering. Let's go ahead and read this. A perfect relationship isn't perfect. It's just that both people never give up. Well, if you never give up on each other, then that's perfection. See, these people, whoever wrote this, has no idea what the word perfect means. What do you mean it isn't perfect? In its developmental stage. In a relationship stage of development, you're seeking to synchronize with each other. It's not that it's not perfect. It's natural to make mistakes in the synchronization process. It has nothing to do with perfection. In fact, you're trying to perfect the connection you guys have. But you can't be judgmental in that phase, because this is going to happen. Mistakes will be made because you guys are adjusting to each other. It's a synchronization process. However, after 10 years maximum, I'd say that should end the synchronization process, and now you guys have become one. You're on your way to becoming soulmates, because now you're truly in love. If there's no more arguments, no more misunderstandings, nothing negative. All forms of negativity are out the window, never to happen again. Anything negative. So if you guys don't reach that after a good 10 years, that's when you guys are perfecting your relationship. The synchronization process is a process of perfection, but it's not to be judged because it's supposed to have hard times. It's like a storm. How can you claim that a storm is perfect? It might be a perfect storm, but it's actually destructive. It's not supposed to be perfect in that regard. It depends how you see things. We could do without storms, but we can't do without the rain. Because there's harsh winds, there's even lightning that can cause fires. We could do without that. we can define that as negative from the storm. But the storm's going to happen, like it or not. It's how we deal with the storm that matters. We can see the benefits. Oh, well, it's raining. The trees and plants need rain. We need some drinking water. Those are good examples. But you can't say that, a storm, the storm phase is like, oh, well, you know what, storms are going to happen and that's just life. And no, it's just the way you deal with those storms. But in a relationship, we're not dealing with the weather here. We're dealing with the status that can be achieved. No more storms. Got it? All right. Let me see if I... Yes, I actually did cover that. Love itself has nothing to do with giving up on each other. As that slide said, by the way. That's a glass half empty statement. That's expecting someone who doesn't love you enough or who is toxic to magically change without giving any effort. This whole idea of, oh, we should never give up on each other. Why are you guys holding on to a rope? You guys should be on top of the mountain already. Glass half empty. That's miserable. You guys got to really be careful with how you say things. This whole giving up on each other is like, oh, I'm not going to give up on you. Well, because you love your partner? Why are you saying the word give up? Is that an option? You see where I'm getting at? Is that even an option? Like, who said anything about giving up? I'll never leave you. I hope you don't. We're supposed to be in love, right? Working towards love permanently. Like this slide right here. Let's work on making this a forever thing. It's not going to be a forever thing if you guys are speaking about the possibility of giving up on each other. I'll never give up on you. No, how about I'll love you forever? Stop with the giving up as if that was going to be an option. It should not be an option if you're that deeply in love with your partner. And with each other, it's mutual, both ways, as I always say. Being completely vulnerable with your partner means you eventually become one. And that's unfortunate that many people don't even understand what that means. And that's why it's the last chapter in my online video course. Which means giving in to each other. That's what becoming one means. Giving in to each other, not giving up. This means that giving up is not even an option because you're both completely in love, as I said before. So you guys heard the term giving in. So stop saying giving up as if it's an option. And giving in is simply, I love you, right? You don't have to say I'll never leave you. That should be already implied by your actions, which speak more than words. This image here is exactly the right mindset, for example, to have if you truly want to love your partner. You both have to be irreplaceable. Perfection itself requires nothing but the best from both partners. Be somebody who is very difficult to replace. That's the idea. Because if you don't work on yourself, you will be replaceable because your partner's not happy. And I can't stand the people who say, he's trying to change me, she's trying to change. It depends. Are they trying to change you for the better? You should be willing to change for your partner. Hello, you have to be, just like playing a sport. You have to get better if you want to score those goals, right? You can't just walk into a sport and say, I'm not a good runner, I don't know how to throw the ball or kick the ball. Hey, you just have to accept me the way I am unconditionally. That's unconditional love, okay? I don't want to improve. I don't have to improve. If you don't accept me like that, then nobody would win the World Cup. Nobody would win the Super Bowl with an attitude like that. So how come people have that attitude when it comes to sports, when it comes to fixing their cars, or doing anything else in life? Oh, I got that promotion at work. You know how you got that? Because you changed. You improved yourself. You got that college degree that was required for that job. You moved across the world, halfway across the world, in order to fulfill the requirements of that job to get some training. You made sacrifices for your job. So how come you don't make the same amount of effort when it comes to your relationship? Riddle me that. Elementary, my dear Watson. It's because your relationship requires the same amount of effort and more. But the problem is you don't get paid for it, right? You don't get paid cash. No. It's something that you receive which is priceless. Your partner is going to be devoted to you for your entire life. Anything you need, anything. You guys both work it out together. That's priceless. So stop chasing the carrot at the end of the stick. That's not what life is about. It's about you and your partner. If you don't have a partner, you're doomed. You got to go find one. Don't go find one out of desperation. And that's why I created my 1-hour video course and my book, to help you make that process go so much quicker. It's not dating. Oh, I'm going to teach you how to date. No. I'm going to teach you everything that's required in order for your next relationship to succeed in case you failed in your current relationship. Or you're trying to save your current relationship, or you're about to have your first relationship ever in your life, then this is when I can help you out. Especially one-on-one with any problems that you may be going through. That's why I created a Discord server. Use it or lose it. So, remember, are you irreplaceable? I'm not talking Beyonce here. I'm literally asking you, do you think you're irreplaceable to your partner? Are you everything that you think you can be? Yeah, just like the army, be all you can be. Yes, are you or not? Answer that question. Are they everything that you would love in your fantasy partner? Because if they truly love you, they will change. They will make changes in order to completely satisfy every need that you desire. Otherwise, you're going to live a miserable life. Think about it, an entire lifetime. Wishing, oh, I just wish, she would do this. I wish he would kind of just do that. Really? And you guys are holding this as secrets to each other? Secretly desiring something that your partner isn't fulfilling? That's not a relationship. That's a toxic nightmare. And you're doing it to yourself. And that's the saddest thing. That's the saddest thing, because you're doing it to yourself thinking, but if I leave my partner, it's going to be hard to find somebody else. Yeah, they're irreplaceable, but are they completely irreplaceable? Think about it. Value is everything. Everything has value, like it or not. You can't walk in this world saying unconditional garbage. Everything changes. If we were babies forever, then we couldn't drive cars, right? We have to grow up. We have to learn how to ride that bicycle, how to walk, how to run, how to jump. That requires change in order to improve and to become stronger. We have to go to school in order to become wiser. That's not everything, but you learn from life experiences, wisdom, right? By now, you know that it's not enough to simply just care about your partner. I really hope so. But to make it your sole mission in life to be everything you want to be, as well as everything they want you to be. Okay, so you have to satisfy yourself, you have to satisfy your partner, they have to satisfy themselves, and they have to satisfy you. That's how this works. Because if you're not fulfilling these requirements, you're not going anywhere, and you're just living in delusion. You're thinking that you're in love, and then you're going to go out there and say you were in love. Stop lying. No, you're not. No, you didn't reach a state of love. Here we go. This is what a successful soulmate relationship analytical chart should look like, if you want to get technical. No need for numbers here. Always reaching new heights. No compromises. If you both don't agree with everything and anything, you are not going to succeed. It's yes across. You ever heard of the yes men? Oh, yes, boss. Oh, that's a good idea, boss. Absolutely, boss. Right away, boss. Those are yes men. People say, I don't want yes men. No, yes, you do. Because those are your goals. Now, if you want some help, some advice, simply ask for it. They don't have to be no men. Because if they don't agree, then they're gonna give you advice, right? It's the same in a relationship. If you say, well, honey, I wanna do this. Well, it's not that they should automatically agree. They should share how they feel about what you just said. But then that's when you find out more about them, what they're capable of. Are they capable of being everything that you're looking for in a relationship? Because you only get one chance with one person at a time. Don't waste your whole life going from person to person thinking that that's a great experience. No. It's the complete opposite. Like Mick Jagger. Mick Jagger supposedly had, I had like 1,000 different sexual experiences. Wow, what a failure. You haven't found one person to love with all of your heart and soul, and yet you're capable of producing such awesome music? That's a failure. That's nothing to boast about. I've been with 100 women. Wow. And you haven't found the one? Oh, the one doesn't exist. Wow. I would not want to be with you if I was a woman. Or vice versa. You get it? Quantity will never beat quality. Never. So, life can be so much more the way it was meant to be for each and every single one of us. If people would only stop being so lazy and immature. True love is strictly for the wise and passionate. Those are my words. So with that said, I hope you guys really enjoyed this final finale of Verses. It's extremely important, this episode here, because there's too many people out there stuck in the caring stage. They don't grow up. They don't improve. They don't grow together. So just like this image here, if you're not the absolute most happiest person compared to everybody else with those lowered expectations, living in Stockholm Syndrome, living in denial, then you're not happy. You need to be happier than everybody around you. It's not a competition. It's something that every single one of us need to feel. That's the only reason why we exist. Because love is the answer. But when people don't understand that, that's when they try to shoot down the word love. Because they fear the unknown. They don't understand what love really feels like. They claim that they're in love, that they felt love before. But I can tell. If they don't have a soulmate by their side and living a happy life, they have no idea what love even means. So they're not going to get away with those lies when it comes, with talking to me and conversating with me. So, absolutely. And, it's been a pleasure doing this stream. Let me see if there's any sign of intelligent life out there. All right, just a second. All right, fantastic. Nick Johnson, 1620. You killing it. Hey, thanks so much, Nick. I really appreciate it. I thought I killed it myself. This is a non-technical stream. This is more of a motivational speech. Probably one of its kind in all of these 9 series, the 90 videos. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for your kind words. That does mean a lot. Offline, I'd say I'm always killing it, but online, it's a crazy world online. A lot of people, attention spans are in the garbage. They don't want to listen to it. They don't want to hear it. So what happens is they come online and they don't learn anything. Like, it's okay to entertain yourself with any kind of videos you want on YouTube or anywhere else on the internet. That's fine. But try to learn something. Try to improve yourself, as what I was saying before in this stream. Make an effort to improve yourself just a little bit every single day. That's what perfection is truly about. It's always moving forward. It's always expecting more from yourself, not from a critical or judgmental perspective. Because you're going to be stressed, and stress is a killer. Nobody wants to stress. You should feel proud of your small accomplishments. Like, this video is one video closer to achieving success and completion for all of the 9 series that I offer you guys for free. I say for free because, yes, I'm not getting paid for this. Okay? So the only thing I do get paid for is my 1-hour online course, which is simply a movie broken down into 10 chapters, small videos. And it's the best thing, it's one of the best things that I've ever created, besides writing my own book. So hard copy or digital copy, I recommend digital, because it's easier to take with you anywhere. But if you guys want something, hard copy to hold and to read, I know, I get it. I'm one of those people too. Sometimes I pick up my book and I start reading just a random part, and yeah, it is hard to put down. But that reminds me just how much effort I put into my own creations. And think about what you can create, what you can offer to the world. You don't have to be a life coach like me, but with your family, with your friends, maybe the job, the profession that you're in, anything. But don't stop moving forward. If you're out of shape, slowly get back into shape. You're not going to end up like Tarzan or Jane overnight. Unless you live in the forest and you force yourself to not have a Burger King nearby. That's likely that you will end up like Tarzan or Jane. But unless that's a reality, get a gym membership or start a home gym of your own. These machines nowadays are pretty affordable compared to the old days when they cost thousands and thousands of dollars. Buy yourself something solid and get to working it as a habit into your lifestyle. Lifestyle is everything, but you have to be passionate about that lifestyle. And if you want the greatest gift that life has to offer, which is true love, then you have to invest your life, your soul into achieving that goal. But it starts with the little things. So, hope you guys really enjoyed this stream. Had a blast doing this. And have fun out there. And we're going to continue closing up these series with the final finale episodes. So, thank you so much for listening. And shout out to everybody who really takes this seriously. Much love.